Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, or welcome here if you are new. I'm Manganet, I do book related content and sometimes not, and during the entire month of February me and Holy Tash are publishing a new video every single day. I'm getting better at saying all of this in one breath and without making any mistakes. Editing Manganet is proud. Today we are doing a repeated concept from the videos we did last year because it was one of those that we really enjoyed. We read some good things based on that and you guys also enjoyed our videos of that. So we're doing it again. Today we will be doing a book. I feel like Manganet last year must have done a much better work at explaining this. Let's pick her up. Manganet 2021, where are you at? Yet another reading project, vlog, experiment, whatever you want to call it. We went through our bookshelves and amongst the books that we haven't read yet, we went to see which blurbs they have on the cover. You know, when the books have some saying fascinating, amazing, best book of the year, and it's a quote from another author about that book. Right, so we went to read those blurbs on the covers of the books that we haven't already read, and we looked until we found blurbs from authors that we have in the past read and loved. Thank you very much, Manganet 2021, for helping me with this concept. So this is what we're doing. And now, did you notice how last year I was so much better prepared for this that when I recorded the intro clip, I already had the clip of me choosing the book and then I could layer them on editing? We don't have that this year. Surprise! I also have no idea which book. I feel like last year when I recorded the intro, I already knew which big book it was because then I could just show you. We're starting right here, right now, my dudes. So let's go. We're gonna go through the books that I haven't read and find a blurb from someone that I've read and enjoyed.
Try to make it new. You can't fight it when it feels so true. You drive me crazy like no one else. The final moment before I lose myself. And it's no use working 9 to 5 if you want more than to stay alive.
I just found 2 books that have the same blurb. The Queen of the Sucker Punch Twist, Ruth Ware. I mean, they are from the same author, so let's keep them on the side for now.
Stay up until the morning light, come on over, we can make it through.
I found a couple of books. God, this hair. I don't know how people can work with their hair loose. So I found a... How do people do this? How do people like live life with their hair loose? Because like, this is me with my hair loose. This is me with my hair how I usually have it, which is very annoying because I always have the hair the same way. But it's for a reason. Anyway, nothing to do with the video. So I found a few options of books that have been blurbed by authors that I've enjoyed. We have the Authenticacy Project. This was blurbed by Sophie Kinsella here in the corner. Then we have You and Me on Vacation by Emily Henry, and this was blurbed by Beth O'Leary here at the top. Now, I really want to read this, but I have a vlog in my mind, so I might just save this and something else for that vlog, because it could be fun, and it's one of those vlogs that I think about, I start, and then it takes months, years to complete. But can you hear my dog playing with the squeaky toy? Really annoying, isn't it? I'm sorry. And then I have the 2 that I showed you. They're both from Louise Candlish and they both have a blurb from Ruth Ware, which, as you know, she's the queen who wrote. It's all the way up there, so I cannot reach it. But she wrote The Turn of the Key, like the best thriller ever. Go and read it if you haven't yet. I've never read anything from Louise Candlish, but I have like 4 of her books because all the synopsis seems super interesting. So we have The Heights. This one, I think, was the first book I bought from her. I have no idea what the story is. This book was chasing me for ages, and I bought it because it's The Other Passenger, and one of my favorite books is The Passengers, and this was the other one. I'm gonna exclude this, and I want to read both of them, but it's only one book for this vlog. So which one should I read? So that's it. I've decided I'm gonna read both of the first chapters because it's only 6 pages total, and then I'm gonna decide which one I'm feeling to read, and then we're gonna carry on. But I'm gonna read that in bed, so I'm gonna get ready for that, go to bed, read the chapters, and I'll update you either later on, tomorrow, probably tomorrow, but I'll see you soon. I am halfway through the Authenticacy Project. I'm really enjoying it. I've been wanting to update you for ages, but I never get the occasion, and I'm really enjoying it. So I've been reading and reading, and now we're halfway through. So let's go for a quick update. I haven't even told you what the story was about because on my last clip I haven't started the book. Hold on, before all of this, I didn't even tell you that between that and this, I chose the other one. So I read the first chapter of this. This is a mess. I read the first chapter of this that day in the evening, and I was like, oh, I don't even need to read the next chapter, the chapter of the other book, because I really enjoyed this chapter. So I was pretty sure I was going to go with this one. But then I was like, okay, just follow the rules. So I read the first chapter of this one, and I really enjoyed it. And I ended up reading the second chapter of this one straight away as well. And then I was like, well, I already read 2 chapters of this, so let's go with this one. But this one also very good, and still very curious to read that. But this is the one I've been reading for the last few days. It starts straight away with this old guy who leaves a notebook in a cafe, and that notebook is entitled The Authenticacy Project. And the lady that works at the cafe, the owner, she finds the notebook and she reads, and inside it's the guy's, like a letter about himself to the next person. So basically the way it works is that you write your own story in the letter, and in his first letter he explains that this is a project that he started because he has the feeling that people don't know each other, even our closest friends. We don't reveal our true self to other people because we're always afraid of how other people are going to judge us, or the perception that we need to be someone else, like people expect us to be a certain kind, and force ourselves to live according to those expectations. So he decides to start the Authenticacy Project, where it's a notebook where you put your true colors onto the story. So you write your fears, your wonders, your dreams, whatever you want to write, something about you. Then after that, you pass it on to the next person. Like, it will be someone who you know, but you don't necessarily go to the person and hand the notebook. You just leave it at the place for the person to find it, and you choose someone who you think could benefit from hearing an honest story. So then the next person goes, reads that story, and a few days go by, the person never pays too much attention to it, but then eventually they add their own story and pass the notebook forward. And then again, that person reads the first story of the old guy, which has the explanation of what that is, and reads the second story, and then again a few days go by because no one immediately wants to share their story, right? Being honest about ourselves is something that sometimes can be tricky. So people always postpone that, but eventually they reach a point where they're like, maybe this could do me any good. So they end up writing their own story and passing it along. So that's what we're following, and we're following how the truth about each person that we're following is not necessarily what they give others to perceive, which is the exact idea of the project. And everyone is super interesting. It's a very, like, a real life story. The struggles of each character, they're very real. It portrays very well as well the thing of, we all do mean things, but it doesn't mean that we're bad people. Sometimes it's just like, it happens. Sometimes our personality leaves us to do something, but it's not because we're bad people. It's just because, I don't know, we're all busy. And I don't know, I find this incredibly realistic. And the Authenticacy Project, the notebook, and the fact that they pass it from person to person, and then the next person tends to try and help the person that came before them, because you were honest in the book. You put there the things that you struggle with, or the dreams, or the things you want to achieve. So you go a little bit out of your own way and you try to somehow make the world a little bit better for that person that came before you. And it's so wholesome. I'm really, really enjoying it. And it has a very fast time progression, which is something that I really enjoy in books, because like I said, there's a few days here, a few weeks there. Even though it doesn't specify exactly like which month we're on or which day or anything, you can see that the time is evolving quite fast, and that gives me the sense of a rapid action book, whatever it's called. I don't know. I'm really enjoying this. I'm really happy I'm reading this. It's a very big, solid 4 stars at the moment. It's very comforting. I like all the characters. With ones I relate more than with others, but just the struggles, the real life struggles that people are going through. Yeah, and it makes me want to create an Authenticacy Project as well and get people to tell their own story, and we should all start removing our masks, revealing a bit more of ourselves to the world, regardless of how that's gonna make us look or how other people are gonna think of us. I don't know, I feel like we should all be a bit more honest sometimes. I'm almost finished with the book. I wasn't expecting it to finish today. I mean, I did think, oh, it would be nice if I finished it today, but I wasn't expecting it. But apparently, while I was cooking dinner, I was listening to the audiobook, and this is where I am at the moment. I have 16 minutes left on the audiobook, which is what? 20-30 pages. I am really enjoying this. Now at the end it's getting a bit cheesy, but there has been some twists that I wasn't expecting this story to take, because it's a story that is following the character, so you're not exactly expecting twists to happen. It's a very like plain story about character development and whatever. You know, I'm not the best at analyzing a book in a formal way, but there has been some happenings that happened that I wasn't exactly expecting, which was nice. Now at the end, getting a bit cheesy, but let me finish reading the book and then I'll let you know exactly my thoughts about it. I finished the book. The ending was a bit cliche, like I said, but you know, sometimes my very cold heart just feels the feels a little bit too intense, and here I was reading it and smiling like, oh. The ending was appropriate. I don't want to use the word like predictable, because even though it did make a lot of sense and it fit the story perfectly, I don't think it was predictable. I mean, it never occurred to me one single time, except like when I was reading that exact chapter that it would end like this. I don't know. I really enjoyed this book. I'm gonna give it a 4 stars. Like 4 solid, strong stars. A really nice book. It's very character driven. There's not much going on, but we're following all these characters, and even through the very end there's someone else who gets introduced to us, and we never stop meeting the characters. But don't worry, it never gets confusing. I'm also not a big fan when books have a million characters, because I confuse them all. I can never remember what's the storyline of each one. I don't remember their jobs. I don't remember who's what. I don't remember. But on this one, for some reason, it was actually very easy to keep track of everyone. I never confused any of the characters or anything. As soon as a new chapter started, I knew immediately what that person was, who they were, what's their storyline. So I don't know why, but it was very easy to follow along. The chapters are also divided by people, so you always have the name of the person at the top of the chapter, so you have that little help, which is something that I also appreciate if we're following a multiple POV book. But the story, even though we're following all these POVs, they are all in the same story, and it's not like each character is living their own story. They're all in the same story. They all work together. They all appear in each other's stories, but in each character we're following the story told to us by one of them, and we're focusing on that person's emotions and how they see the world and etc. Really good book, 4 stars. I don't hear a lot of people talking about this online, but like, if you're gonna take anything from this book, take it from my word and from Sophie Kinsella's word. A clever, uplifting book, as she said here in the blurb. Is it right? I think so. Do I agree? Definitely. I really enjoyed this. I even went to research a little bit more about the author, Clara Pooley, and this is her debut novel. She had a blog, a non-fiction blog about her life, and this story was inspired in multiple things that happened in her life. It all gets explained here at the end on the author's note and also on her acknowledgements. A really nice surprise of a book. I'm really happy I read it. This vlog was therefore very nice as well. So come back tomorrow for another adventure here in the 28 Days of Insanity. Bye!